Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Alright, how are you today, class? Are you fine? Right, good. Hopefully, everybody here in this class are fine. I don't want to see you in a bad condition, especially in this era, especially to be away from virus, to be away from COVID-19. Right, class. Today I'm going to be with you for several minutes to study online and distant learnings, and I hope that you are going to see this video first, and then after watching the video, I want you to have some activities, including the process of writing or using some applications of online distant learning. Right. I have a slide over here. I want you uh, to watch this, and then here we go. Right. Okay. Um, Online language learning or OLL. Yeah, right. Let's start from the definition first. And then after having the definition, I want you to, let's go further to the next discussion, to the next session. Right. Okay, what is actually online and distant learning? Okay, online language learning (OLL) refers to a number of learning arrangement. Okay, remember this not only one arrangement but a number of uh, learning arrangements, including a web facilitated class, a blended or hybrid course, or a fully virtual or online courses. Alright, so based on this definition, we can be sure, I'm sure that everyone is sure that the learning here is using some arrangements. Yeah, like for example, as I told you, as I read in the definition here, a web facilitated class. So you have a class which is facilitated by using a website, and a blended or hybrid course, or you provide a course using a blended. You know blended, right? When you talk about blend, if you want to know colors, for example, from the color blue to red. So if you want to the blend it from color blue to red, so what is it? The meaning between blue and red here is in the middle. So this is blended. So half is blue, half is black, half is red. So this is blended. And using a fully virtual or online courses. So all the course you teach to your student using online, full online. So this is what we mean by online language learning or OLL. Okay, what about distance learning? All right, distant learning refers to some of these online learning environments. So online learning environment I told you before, and mix of more traditional methods. Okay, so this is in combination with more traditional method like what? Such as correspondence courses and teleconferencing and teaching techniques. Right. So not only one environment, but also using mix, using many more, using several combination. Right. Okay. Online learning environment mix of more traditional method. So you use online learning, you also use a traditional method. This is distant learning, right? Like, have you ever had an experience of having distant learnings, right, class? Traditionally, I think you have experience about it in the past. When you are writing some letters, you send your letters to your teacher overseas or your teacher outside this town. This is a distant, right? Or probably you can use teleconferencing. You have a teleconference. We have a conference, but using not a direct conference, a real live conference, but you have a teleconference. You don't what is it? You don't see the partner. You don't see the audience directly, but you have what is it? A distance in seeing or in facing to face with the other audience. Right. Um, let's start with this. The opportunities opened up by e-learning technologies, yeah, have been incorporated, and the virtual campus is as important as its physical equivalent. Yeah. So today, most campuses using online learning because of the condition. Yeah. Probably several months ago, in Indonesia, not all campuses use online learning, but today, because of the condition, many universities, many schools, many institutions use online learning to communicate with others today. Even though outside this country they have already done this kind of activities. It is not totally new for them, but this is already their what is it? Their habit to have e-learning by using e-learning technology. And okay, the generation that is now looking to higher education have grown up with the internet as a natural part of life, and there are rapid development in e-learning. Yeah, see, and consequences for universities who do not respond to this development may be significant. Right. So, because the rapid changings of technology, the rapid changes of the world development today, make all university what is it catch up to use what is it yeah, to use e-learning today. Okay, as I told you before, when you are using blended learning, is like this one: online, blended, and traditional. So the one on the left is the line over here is all online learning, so 100% online learning. And the line on the right over here is using all face-to-face, or we call that as traditional method. Okay, if the meeting of all face-to-face to the left here, and the meeting of all online to the right here, right in the middle, is going to be blended. Yeah. Okay, so what is it? It is not exactly white, and it is not exactly blue, in between white and blue, because this is blended. Is that right? Blended using E or A? Blended, yeah. Okay, all right. Using online, 80% of the contents delivered online. So, a course where the most or all of the content is delivered online, 80% plus, 80% plus, yeah, meaning that more than 80%. We can say that the course where most or all of the content is delivered online, so 80%. It is approximately, it is close to 100%. Therefore, we can say most or all the content. Yeah, right. Typically, have no face-to-face meeting. Yeah, usually there is no face-to-face meeting. if it is 80% of online learning. Right, blended using E, right? So when blended, uh, blended 30 to 79% of the content delivered online. So we can say that this is blended, yeah. So this is, where is it? Where is blended? Okay, over here. Let me check it first. Make some corrections on it. This is not using E, but this is using A, but using E. I'm sorry. Okay. Online, blended, and traditional. Okay. Um, yeah. When 30 to 79% of the content delivered online, we can say a course that blends online and face-to-face delivery. What does it mean? Okay, it means that substantial proportions of the content is delivered online. Substantial. So typically uses online discussion and typically has a reduced number of face-to-face meetings. So the face-to-face meeting is still available, but this is very rare, very seldom, because we have from 30 to 79 content of the teaching learning process are delivered online. Right. After that one is okay. Now this one, a course that uses or no little technology. This is traditional. Yeah, not blended anymore, but traditional. Okay. That uses a little or no online technology content is delivered in writing or orally, or uses web-based technology to facilitate what is essentially a face-to-face course. So 100% is going to be face-to-face, because 0% is what is it? The online learning is done here. Example of this might be posting the syllabus or list of assignment on a web page or to a course management system, traditional or web facilitated. So we learn which is facilitated by web site. Okay, now we go to educational generation from 1.0 to 4.0. Right. We have 1 decade each over here from education 1 up to education 4. Let's start from 1994 to 2000. It is classified to education 1.0, 1.0. So what does it look like? Okay. In education 1, information and static web. And then number 2 is the lectures and memorization. I think everyone still remember when you are having lectures, having class at school, for example. You try to read the material and then you have to memorize one thing, one topic to another topic, and then the lecturers usually and mostly speaking in front of the class. The lecturer never stop talking, and you are sitting down very calmly, very quietly, and back of the board. Yeah. So this is the education 1.0, and information and static web. Yeah. It is not dynamic web, but static web. All right. The next decade is 2000 until 2010. So this is a 10-year period. Using education 2, what is it look like? When using education 2.0, it it has a characteristic of a social and collaborative web. So we already have collaboration here, collaborative and social and collaborative web. And then internet enabled learning. So the student or teachers can learn from internet. Yeah. So therefore we can say that internet enabled learning. We learn something. We are able to learn something from internet. Yeah. 2000 until 2010. And the next generation is Education 3.0 from 2010 up to 2020. So up to now, yeah, we use Education 3.0. What does it look like? Yeah, okay. Personalized learning and knowledge producing education. So when you say knowledge producing education, this is education that produces some knowledge. Yeah. Personalized learning, so the learning that you can do by the guides of the teacher, by the guide of the lecturers. This is personalized learning. And then the last one is the next educational generation is 2020 up to 2030. So from this year, 1 year ahead, yeah, so we still have 10 years more to follow, to join, or to use education 4.0. And now most campuses, most schools are talking about education 4.0. Yeah. So what does it look like? Intelligent learning. So mostly they use artificial intelligence like robot. Robot. Yeah. When you have robot, for example, and the robot is look like a the functions of robot here is just to substitute the functions of human being. And then innovation producing education. So education that produce innovation never stop. What is it? Creating technology. Yeah. Even though this is not what is it? What I mean by technology here is that all aspect of learning. Yeah. English education, for example, we have technology also. How use the technology in learning any foreign language, especially English. Right, class. So 10 years, 10 years, 10 years, and okay. And talking about this period of time, we have to consider teachers' role from time to time, from generation to generation. Okay, in the past generations, what about source of knowledge? Yeah. So the role of teacher as source of knowledge, teacher centered. Yeah. Not like today or in the future. Today and in the future is not going to be teacher centered anymore. It is going to be autonomous learner. Well, autonomous learners here is learners should be what is it? Should have their own responsibility to learn, even though teacher do not ask you to learn. Okay. The role of teacher as a guide and source of knowledge in today's what is it, education. And then the next one is in the future's education, and even today, yeah, orchestrator. So you become an orchestra. I mean, in an orchestra, I think everybody knows the conductors in what is it, leading the musical. I mean, leading the musical performance. Yeah, by using group. Yeah, we have one conductor or orchestrator of collaborative knowledge creation. So the role of teachers here is as an orchestrator, and then collaborate with students to what is it, to create to yeah, to create new knowledge. Yeah. So one of the role of having a high order thinking skill or heart. Yeah. The last the highest high order thinking skill is creation. by creating. Students are able to create, yeah, to create something. Like today's, it is very common for people to, I mean, for students to learn a startup business, yeah. And learning startup business, you can create your own platform using one particular what is it, like equipment, or using one particular software. That is the changing of teachers' role from the past to today, or up till the future. What about the content arrangement? Right, the content in arrangements, traditional copyright material in the past, yeah. So we have the you have some material to be copied, and the student copy the material and learn from that material. Now, copyright and free open educational resources for students. So students have their own right to find out their own material to learn based on certain topics. Like for example, today you have online and distant learning. I think you are free to find out some application that you might be suitable for you to use later in your assignment. Okay, in the future, probably you have copyright and free open educational resources created and reused by students. Yeah, so student is the creator here. Hopefully, everyone in my class, especially in distant, I mean in online and distant learning, become the creator of what is it? The creator of educational, what is it? Educational, the creator on education, especially using technology. Now the learning activities, yeah, the learning activities in the past is traditional essay, assignment, tasks, some group work or within classroom. So when you are having, you have to write down essay in the class. You have to collaborate with your friend in the classroom. Also, this is kind of activities in the past. But now you have more open technologies. Therefore, more open technologies increasing collaborations in learning activities. Still largely confined to institutional and classroom boundaries. Because of technology, so you can collaborate learning using technology. You can use your mobile, you can use your WhatsApp, you can use your Facebook, Twitter, and the like. In the future, I mean 2020 above, up till 2030 probably, the learning activities, open, flexible learning activities that focus on creating room for students' creativity, social networking outside traditional boundaries of discipline, institution, and nation. So we can cooperate with some other student from different background, knowledge from physics students, from geography student. When you think that it is important for you to to be together with them, we can say that outside social networking outside traditional boundaries of discipline, institution, nation. What about the behavior, the student behavior? In the past, largely passive, absorb, absorptive. Yeah, students in the past are mostly passive. They are very silent, very quiet. It is quite different from today. Yeah, and today, I mean, ahead is active, strong sense of ownership. But in today's student behavior, even though they are passive, but passive to active, right? Not only passive, but also coming to active. Emerging sense of ownership of educational process. And the future, active, strong sense of ownership, of own educational co-creation of resources and opportunities, active choices. This is very important for learners today, to teach the student behavior because this is about character. You may have lots of what is it advanced technology, but behavior is more important, and behavior cannot be learned only at once. Behavior can be learned from the very beginning, not all in the university, but started from your own home. Like today you learn from home, right? To school, school with teachers, with some other what is it students. You have your behavior over there. And then technology. In the past, you have e-learning enabled through an electronic learning management system and limited to participation within one institution. So we still remember that in the past, computers are very seldom, but today computers, laptop, yeah, gadget, and the like are numerous. You have lots of you have many gadgets today. E-learning collaboration involving the universities largely within the confine of learning management system, but integrating with other application. Right. And then in the future, e-learning driven from the perspective of personal distributed learning environment consisting of portfolio of application. So this is the pictures of technology. Now, it is going to be free for you to use some software and application, uh, but the software and application that you can use Grammarly, Mentimeter, QR code, Padlet, Interactive Web, Screencast and the like. But I want you first of all to practice using Grammarly or sound recognition speed to be your what is it? To be your what is it? Your assignment, yeah. Okay, like this one when you are using Grammarly.com. So you write over here. You write something, and then in your assignment later, you have to write one paragraph containing 200 words. Yeah, if we have this kind of tag, probably it is not 200. Yeah, write about 200 words, and then what is it? Your writing should be compared to the Grammarly.com. So what is the Grammarly.com suggest to what is it? To make some revision for you. For example, here it is suggested to say to write punctuation. After the word you have to write comma over here. So follow the Grammarly.com, and then you click here, and then after you have comma. So Grammarly.com will help you to write better. And for example, you have in, what is it? Correct your spelling. Yeah, correct is grammar detect wrong spelling. For example, yeah. I am, yeah. You don't have what is it? I am actually here. And then sure, I'm not sure. What is it? Correct your spelling. So the spelling is not correct. It is what is it? Reminded by the Grammarly.com. All right, class. That is all about my slide, and thank you very much for joining my class in online and distant learning today. Have a nice day and have a nice learning from home. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua.